Boo. Welcome to Erico Blueberry. It's episode 11. It's still the spooky season. It is week 9 of season 15, Season of the Lost. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. I'm chillybin.
I'm Meckii.
I don't know how that looked because I couldn't actually see my feed while I was jumping into my chair again. I'm assuming the spooky stuff is still going next week. I'll have to find another way to escalate. Anyway, there was not a whole lot of story or any kind of development this week. So it's going to be a bit of a bits and pieces episode for us. What have we been up to? Look, straight off the bat, I'm gonna announce this now. I'm very proud of it. 9 weeks into the season, I have gilded my dredgen. It's me, your boy, the gilded dredgen. I played a lot of Gambit. This week, last week it was bonus Gambit rank. So I just went fucking ham on it. I got, hang on, I can look back in this channel and find, 13th of October, I was at 33 out of 50 wins, and that's all I had left to do, was get the 50 wins. And then I think it was a couple of days ago, I did my last one. I think it was like the night before reset even, maybe. Yeah. I was sitting on 49 out of 50. I'd like just jumped into the Discord server. I was like, do you guys kind of want to do some Gambit? I need literally one more win. And then we just went in there full of spite and piss and vinegar and got that one win. Wasn't pretty, but it's done.
I might have bullied some Guardians in that game.
Yeah. I have now fully embraced my Gambit bully status. There's just something really effective about that build that I'm running with Sunshot, Path of Burning Steps, Middle Tree, Solar Titan, just stacking all the extra solar damage buffs and all that bullshit and just clearing stuff out. So and running that messenger that I was using in trials, really good for getting rid of invaders. So it was a pretty good time. But yeah, that last win didn't feel super great, but I got it done. And then this week, this week, the seasonal challenge stuff came out, and it was like, hey, more Gambit though. You got to do 2 matches of Void, 2 matches as Arc, 2 matches as either Solar or Stasis. I was like, fuck, I got to play more Gambit now. I've done all my stuff, but I also hadn't got the Gambit ornament for the Ascendancy rocket launcher, which was another seasonal challenge, and I just like ticking those boxes. So I played a bunch more Gambit already this week. I can't help it. I actually like Gambit.
I've definitely okay, let's not lie, I've always been a bully in Gambit. I get my Chaos Reach, I've got my Xenophage. I like bullying invaders with my Xenophage. I like bullying when I'm invading with Xenophage and Chaos Reach. I'm just a bully.
Yeah, I did also find potentially a new way to be a bully. So Cartesian coordinate, solar fusion rifle. I've got one with swashbuckler, which for a refresh means melee kills or kills with that weapon granted bonus damage to that weapon.
Yeah.
And it stacks up to 5 times. And I'm running all solar, like throwing hammers, burning steps. Everything is just building on top of that. So I was also grinding out the like fusion rifle kills you need for a couple of seasonal challenges, and just mowing shit down. Like I was running that and also Sleeper Simulant, which is also a solar weapon. So Path of Burning Steps is like any solar kill grants you, or is it just solar abilities? But basically, solar kills grant a weapon damage boost. And then you've got Swashbuckler on the Cartesian coordinate, which also has lead from gold, because I hate running the ammo mods if I can help it. And yeah, then with Sleeper Simulator, it's just like, all right, buy everything on the map. So I'm gonna play with that a bit more. I'm historically not spent a lot of time playing with fusion rifles. This might be the build that gets me to try them out a bit more. And then who knows, maybe later in the season I'll give sniper rifles another try.
Yeah, there's a few good ones. I'm playing with sniper rifles a bit more lately as well, and just trying different purples and different exotics and just seeing what works. But just xenophage, man.
Yeah, that's a sniper rifle. What do you don't need to worry about
exactly.
anything. It fires like a hand cannon and kills like a sniper rifle.
That's exactly it, right? Just a machine gun sniper rifle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good time. I'm also, after running Lake of Shadows last week as a Grandmaster, I'm now very close to getting Conqueror for the first time.
Oh, wow.
I think from memory, I need to do 1 GM as Stasis, and the other one is doing 6 different GMs within a season, and I've done 5 out of 6. So hopefully, the next one I do, if I do it as Stasis, hopefully that's one that I haven't done, and I honestly can't remember which ones I have done. I could probably look it up and figure it out, but that'd be pretty neat to get that, and then join some of the boys and trying to guild Conqueror at some point. But that seems like it's more hassle than it's worth.
A nightmare.
I also don't know if I want to like brand myself with that. I might just unlock the title and then never equip it. I much prefer having Dredgen Gilded 3 next to my name, because it shows people that I'm a stinky little shit boy. I get down and dirty with the drifter. I hate that I said that.
The toilet paper boy.
The toilet paper man. But yeah, what else has been going on?
Other than that, just haunted sectors.
Yeah, we had a bit of a sesh the other night, mainly because we were trying to get up to the Luna 4 lawbook entry. That's the one, right? Because we were sitting in a voice chat one night and somebody unlocked it and read it and proceeded to lose their fucking shit for about 5 minutes.
On my stream.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't think I want to read it now. I don't want to like spoil the fun for anyone. Do you want to maybe give the people at home a brief synopsis of the Luna 4 lore entry?
My interpretation is paint your booty like a pumpkin, though.
Yeah, it was like what Guardian porn in a sense. Well, they discovered historical porn. It's real weird.
People with inconvenient places painted like pumpkins.
Yeah. Some of the language was very pedestrian, but decidedly like evocative in how they put it together. It was something special.
I think it's one of those lore entries that if you're a bit of a degenerate like us, you're going to walk away with a degenerate interpretation. But if you're more wholesome, you're going to be like, oh, they paint their faces like pumpkins.
So we were what in that fire team the other night with that friend of ours who'd lost their shit on your stream after reading it. You and I unlocked it at the same time, and then we just went and read it. And then as I was reading through it, I was just like, okay. And then at one point, I think what I said was like, oh, what the fuck? And our buddy was just like, yeah. Like, it's so disgusting. Just like, oh, you read it, didn't you?
You found the porno magazines in the woods, didn't you?
God damn it, yes. Hidden in well, it's not the haunted forest anymore. That would have actually been really fucking cool. The porn buried in the haunted forest. That would have been last year. But yeah, I still have tons of those pages to unlock. Yeah. That might be sort of what my grind is for the next like a week or two. I think it's It's got another week, right? I actually don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
But I definitely need to get in and unlock those pages too.
Yeah, like I want to get all the masks. I want to get all the pages done, and then I want to read all of the pages because there's probably some other dumb shit in there. And I'm a sucker for a lot of the like ornaments and sparrows and stuff from Festival of the Lost, like any year, but especially this year. So I want to try
that
and
Calavera shell so bad.
I want to unlock as much of it as I can. Yeah, and I, speaking of that, I have spent some money. I have bought the dinosaur armor sets for all 3 classes because I know I want them, and that's who I am. But I also bought what is probably my new favorite sparrow, Skitter Scare, the motherfucking like mechanical spider. This, I love it and I hate it. I don't. It's so if you haven't seen it, and I'm gonna try and put a little, I don't know, clip of it here. It is probably the weirdest sparrow they have ever made. It's got like these 8 little legs out the side of it that are moving. It's still flying like any other sparrow, but these legs are just like moving on its side as it's hovering around. And then when you boost, they fly back behind it like it's Naruto running. And it's the goofiest fucking thing I think I've ever seen.
So fun story about that sparrow. If I can, I'll try and remember to send it from my work computer for you. But you know the Simpsons Do It For Her, and it's a collage of Meckii?
Yes.
You can find templates online of that, and you can put whatever pictures you in it.
Yes,
and you can also change it from him, her, them.
Yep.
And it'll do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So originally in my cubicle, I have one that says "Do It For Him," and it's just a bunch of Elixir babies.
Oh yes.
And then this week I added "Do It For Him," and it's different pictures of the Skitter Scare.
Oh man. I kind of want
So for the Halloween season, that's up over my Elixir baby Do It For Them.
But then as soon as it's over, you're taking that down and it's back to babies. Okay. Yeah, I think it was like after we just finished reading that lore book at the same time, we're just like, we're hanging out, and I looked in the store. The sparrow cost 800 silver, which was exactly my silver balance, and I just said, fuck it, it's mine now. And then I think we were about to go and do more haunted sectors potentially, and I was like, hey, before we do that, can we really quickly load into a patrol zone? I need to see how this thing moves.
So we loaded in next to the Exo Stranger.
Yeah, we went to Europa where it's bright and flat, and boy oh boy, did I lose my mind a little bit at how goofy this fucking thing is. I had it doing flips in the air. We did some like sparrow jousting. We sent it towards the sky. It was...
At one point you had it parked on top of my head.
I did, yeah. I mean, I would have done that with any sparrow, but with this one, it's especially menacing. I think the weirdest bit was when I had it like moving sideways, because it was like doing a little crab walk.
I was crying the first time I saw that happen. You came in my screen, across my screen, and out. Oh my god, I love that sparrow.
Yeah, I'm starting to think I should be like just recording more of my gameplay so that I can just slot my own footage in here, because that would have actually been really funny to like be able to show people. And recreating it's a bit, I don't know, it's not the same. It's not the same. But yeah, I'm very.
I have a Snapchat I filmed of the screen of you doing it. So
great, yeah. Well, that one's just for you, I think. I'm very happy I have it. It's
my private collection.
It's so silly. I need to find the right shader for it so that it is cursed, but also not too bad to look at. I did it for a second, consider putting butterbark on it, but it just it's terrifying. Make it look like it's made of wood. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a lot of goofy stuff coming out of this week, I think.
Yeah.
Not a lot of super like important
No.
stuff. And that's one of the
It's
things I love about Festival of the Lost is it's one
yeah.
of those events where you can just kind of
Switch off a
hang
bit.
out with your homies
Yeah.
and not think about, the lore and you don't have like shit you have to get done every
Yeah.
reset. It's kind of a lot more with like loosey goosey kind of just hang out with your homies, do some haunted sectors, get pages,
Yeah.
buy goofy shit, and that's what I love about these
Yeah.
events.
Yeah. And like, as much as they, removed a couple of ways that people are able to farm those pages really fast, like, it's not that hard to get them. You're going to get them just by doing stuff anyway. I'm someone who usually chases the weekly seasonal challenges as they come out, just to try and. Yeah. I think like since they've done seasonal challenges, I've always managed to complete them. Like I'm not going to get every one of them done, but I'll get the overall seasonal one done, which is usually.
You'll pick pages up doing the Gambit stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And in weeks like this, where there's like not that big story content kind of driving stuff forward, those are things I can go and do. And that's where, for example, I would go and try fusion rifles out more, is because there's seasonal challenges kind of pushing you towards that. And then some of them are weirdly bugged where fusion rifle kills count for sword kills, and I'm kind of glad about it because I didn't want to have to do both of those. But yeah, so there's a couple of things in there I'm going to just try and do while I'm, don't have anything else to do in the game.
Yeah.
Which sounds like there's not a lot going on. There is.
Yeah, but there's a lot going on.
When like main character's at 1330, I think my other two are pretty close. Like I'm not in that pinnacle grind as much anymore. It's more just, what do I want to do? What do I feel like? What I want to try out? Still trying to grind up a bit to get like, I don't know, Master Vogue ready. Things like that. So yeah.
Everyone gets another shot at Vex Smitho this weekend in our fire team.
Oh yeah, we are doing that, aren't we? Yeah, Sunday night. That'll be nice. Try out the I think we're also going to try the legendary Astral alignment, because it's a 6-player activity with no matchmaking. Which, like, I guess I'll have to report back after we do it, because like it's one of those things that's like the main one is match made and you can kind of just not think about it. If it's that much harder that they require you to put a team together, fair enough. I don't know what the difficulty looks like yet, because I haven't had a look at it, but we'll find out this weekend.
Yeah.
And that'll be fun. I mean, it'd be good to do a raid too. It's been a few weeks, I think, since, well, the last one we did was Last Wish, wasn't it?
Yes.
I'd like to do one that doesn't take 5 hours, thanks. Go in there and just bully Atheon.
Well, for the most part, the last week, well, since last reset, running to this reset, and then today and yesterday, it's just a bunch of us running haunted sectors and just being just crusty little goblins.
Yeah.
And just chatting shit the whole time.
Yeah.
Which is one of, like you use this metaphor all the time that Destiny is a chat room with a gun attached to it.
Yeah.
But those haunted lost sectors are fun and engaging, but at the same time leave enough room for you to be joking and fucking around.
Yeah, and even if you like solo into it, make up with some blueberries, like it's still fun. Like it's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Like it's not like there's complicated mechanics, right? It's like go stand in the thing, big pumpkin man appears, kill him, do that a bunch more. Big boss turns up, kill more pumpkin man, throw pumpkin man head at boss, break shield, kill boss. Classic Destiny mechanics of orbs and shields and plates. They got it all in there, all in the one activity for you. Except the orbs are pumpkins, and enjoy. And there's fucking candy everywhere. It's so good.
Caracoles or candy?
Yes. What does it taste like?
Spicy.
Ooh, I don't think I've had spicy candy.
But like I wouldn't say spicy. I reckon like a weird, tingly kind of experience.
So like a super sour kind of candy.
Like when you sit on your foot too long and it goes numb, but imagine the entire inside of your mouth and your lips.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I like that. I would not eat that.
It's what I've always imagined, like time and space, like interdimensional travel in movies and books. For some reason, when I see people do that or read people doing it, my whole body gets that feeling. So
Oh.
whenever I think of like the paracausal nature or someone talks about paracausality in Destiny,
Yeah,
I'm just
which
like,
is a lot.
the
Happens all the
paracausal
time.
candy.
Yeah. Put that shit in your mouth.
This
And
is what
then...
chewing 5 gum feels like.
Damn it. This is what chewing 5-dimensional gum feels like. That's probably more accurate. What else has been going on other than you fucking unpowered meleeing everything in existence? I put that in there more so that I had this opportunity to yell at you.
I draw your attention to it and then I do it.
Yeah. We're just like,
okay, hey, Billy, look at this.
Hey, what do you think of this? And you're just like slapping something. You've got like the power of a fireball in your other hand. You're like, nah, I'm just gonna just go away, just lightly pushing them.
I've been a brat about it too. Where
yes, you have.
Because I use arc primarily.
Mm-hmm.
What I'll do is I'll actually just use my powered melee on nothing so that I can unpowered melee things in front of you.
That's worse. That's actually so much worse.
The whole fire team is caught on the meme. So now the boys in the fire team will often go out of their way to tell you now that I've been punching things.
Yeah. It's funny, like I've always unpowered melee stuff, but I've never like been as conscious of it as I have since you started explicitly doing it and telling me about it. Like if I for example have a bounty which is get a bunch of finisher kills, what I usually do is find scions or dregs, unpowered melee them, because that gets them almost dead, and then I'll finish them off. Yeah.
It's just one night we were doing a particularly tipsy DSC run, and at some point, I'm not sure if it was you or someone else in the fire team, was just like, I turn around and Meckie's just standing there fucking punching things.
Just starting Fight Club.
I think I'm in the bottom shelf of the Atrax encounter.
Oh yeah.
The clone encounter.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm just punching things.
God damn. I because I've been running this season, running Middle Tree Solar a ton, which is throwing hammer, go pick it up, you've got it again. Like fully charged melee ability, ready to go. Anytime I switch to something that isn't that, I forget, because I'll just use the auto melee, which is, powered if you've got it and you're not too close. Otherwise it will default to unpowered in a lot of cases. And yeah, I'll go to like do it, thinking that I'm going to do a powered melee, and it's just like whiff. I fucking hate it.
See, my favorite thing about the Warlock's unpowered melee is it's literally a flat palm slap.
Yeah, it's like bah.
So
at least the hunter gets a knife. It's like just little. You guys
are just watching me float around like an absolute dingus, slapping things, and that's my favorite part of it. Is because watching you or a couple of the other boys who have just started using warlocks more often. I've seen an unpowered melee from the third person perspective.
Yeah, it's goofy.
And I'm like, it's dumb as fuck. I'm going to do it constantly now.
Damn it. I was hoping that might make you go, oh, that's what I look like?
Just a little push.
Oh, gross.
I did it on stream the other night, knowing that you were in the chat.
Yep, I almost closed the tab if it weren't for me trying to support you in your journey getting back into streaming.
Unsubscribe, report to Twitch for harassment.
Yeah, I feel like I'm being bullied by the broadcaster. Can I can I block myself from your stream? I don't know.
I'd
Maybe
like a
next time.
refund. I haven't subscribed or donated yet, but I'd like a refund.
Yeah. Yeah, next time I'll just say something real fucked and get myself banned. Just auto ban. Like Twitch is like, don't use that word in here.
IP ban, so you don't have to deal with my shit anymore.
Oh no, I can't do that. Me thinking about doing some more streaming again after a similar amount of time of not doing it. I can't afford to have my IP blocked. No, thank you.
Amazing.
I
was gonna say, speaking of pissing off the Destiny community,
oh yeah,
have you seen how angry people are about the Witch Queen Deluxe?
Yes, there are a couple of valid points to the criticism, which I think it's worth covering because it's basically half my Twitter timeline has been people blowing up about the wrong thing, or getting angry about one thing and then sidestepping into something else. But to, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm going to lay out sort of what I understand the problem is. You can tell me if I've got this wrong. So previously dungeons, or the dungeons that have been released to date, have come out as part of season passes, or it's either like expansion, deluxe edition, whatever, or it's like part of your season pass cost, right? So we've had Prophecy, Shattered Throne, which was I guess just part of Forsaken, right? Or was that a seasonal thing?
I can't remember. It's been that long.
Yeah, but so that's kind of the history, right? Is like dungeons have been a package deal with stuff that you're paying for anyway, which is game plus season pass, which is kind of usually gets you everything. What they're doing for year 5, aka Witch Queen plus season passes, is there's the Witch Queen base experience or base expansion, which is basically just the expansion, no season passes. Then there's the season pass, which gets you the 4 seasons for year 5. And then there's the deluxe edition, and that's where the dungeons are. So there is a change there from previously how dungeons have been packaged. And the communication around that has not been ideal, to be fair. It's been a little confusing. There was some, I think it was Cosmo replied in Reddit somewhere in a way that kind of didn't clear things up fully. So there's, some miscommunication. There is a change there. I think the difference between like Witch Queen plus season pass, Witch Queen plus season pass plus whatever else gets you the dungeons is like in US dollars like $10. It's different if you're going from like base game to deluxe edition. That's like an extra, I think, $40 or something US. But that kind of encapsulates like the cause of why people are getting a bit mad, because it is different to how things have gone. Apparently, it seemed like people were trying to reference statements from Bungie saying like Eververse and paid cosmetic items basically pay for things like dungeons. And this is kind of them saying, actually, no, it doesn't. Based on what you've seen, have I kind of summed that up, or am I missing something?
Yeah, that's my understanding of it as well. It's just it's seemingly been out of nowhere. And it's, oh yeah, you get the expansion, but then this content that we've been pushing for the last couple of months since the Witch Queen announcement as like a big part of the content is these new dungeons and stuff. Oh, you have to pay for that as well. That's separate. That's not included.
Yes.
Which is kind of a little bit of a thing to like just suddenly spring on the community. But knowing the development cycle and knowing profit cycles and stuff like that and the way Bungie operates, they probably didn't make this decision lightly because they knew what the argument would be and then what the impact would be. Especially off the back of the whole vaulting Forsaken debacle.
Yeah, I think it was also like poor timing that happened last week, and then everybody kind of looked at this and went, hey, what? So there's probably some overlap there, which doesn't help. But yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that like some of the loudest people at the moment are the people who haven't played Destiny for a really long time and for some reason have just this vitriolic hate of the game and Bungie for no reason. Like some
Yeah,
of the
like
loudest voices I've seen in regards to the vaulting and then also this have been people who are in the replies who have been like, "Oh, I haven't played Destiny since year 2." It's like, why do you care? Why are you so
why are you
angry?
still commenting
Well,
on it?
I was thinking about coming back to the game, but I'm like, you still can.
Yeah.
It's still free to play.
Yeah, that is something I did want to touch on, is like the label of free to play for Destiny. Because
Mm.
if you're a new player, free to play just gets you the base game, doesn't get you any of the latest expansions. There's like a lot of stuff you actually don't get. So I think it's more accurate to say it's free to start. Then if you want to do a whole bunch of the game, you do have to actually pay for it. And this is kind of like the way that they've set it up. It's not full live service game like World of Warcraft with a monthly subscription cost. It's closer to like, an annualized franchise, similar to like, your Call of Duties and stuff, where it's like there basically is one of those every year. They cost about the same amount, and there's cosmetic stuff that is in a paid store. It's all optional, Yes, the free to play version doesn't really get you all that much, but I think some people hear free to play and try to extrapolate that to, well, more stuff should be free, which is not the case. More content costs more money. If you look at any free to play mobile games in particular,
I was going to say
they
apps
are
and mobile
full of
games.
ads and microtransactions, and you get fuck all for free, or you have to like spend a lot of time waiting or doing busy work to actually like progress. So I think it is just like a labeling and communication problem more than anything. It's confusion has resulted, and rather than provide that feedback constructively, a large number of people have chosen to get very vocal about it in some misguided ways.
It's just so hyperbolic, the
Mm.
discourse around it.
Mm.
The people aren't being like realistic or logical about it. They're just going completely hyperbolic in their arguments sometimes. And then when you strip that hyperbole out of their argument, they can't respond anymore.
Mm.
And it's because it's an entirely almost an emotional based argument. And it's like last week when we were talking about the vaulting stuff.
Yeah.
Once again, it's a heavily emotionally based argument that is so hyperbolic that other people are taking these hyperbolic talking points and building their arguments around it. So then when you engage with them and you strip back that hyperbole, they don't actually know what they're upset about. They haven't had time to sit and think about it. It's that whole like people are working each other up into like a flurry.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, there's a huge communication issue, but like for the first time in a long time for Bungie. So I feel like also that probably doesn't help, is like it's if Bungie have been so utterly transparent about vaulting and expansions and dungeons in the past that all of a sudden they've dropped the ball on the communication here. And it kind of feels like a betrayal rather than, oh shit, this is poorly communicated. A lot of people are looking at it as, oh, well, they didn't tell us, so they've been trying to hide it from us, and now they're just dropping this on us.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's like, they haven't. They just kind of dropped the ball when it came to talking to us about this incoming change.
Yeah. Yeah. They like, all the information is out there. It just hasn't been presented in a way that is easy to understand, like someone rightfully so made a point that like, imagine you're someone just getting into Destiny trying to figure out which version of what content you need to pay money for. It's not that easy to understand. People like you and I, like we've been in the game for years, we kind of just have learnt how these systems work and where to look for certain things. But for new players, it's kind of rough. If you go into the Destiny 2 subreddit, not Destiny the game, but Destiny 2, one of the things pinned to the top is like a 92-page Google Doc which explains all of the different systems and currencies and the pinnacle versus powerful reward structure and just like all of the systems in the game, it just lays them all out, explains them all really well, but it's 92 fucking pages. And that's before you even really, I actually don't know if there's any lore stuff in there. Well, there might be, but I think it might have like a summary of sort of where things are to date. But yeah, there is sort of a general communication problem there that I think needs to be solved at some point. It's probably not a high priority because they have a lot of players that are very active. And I wonder what the balance is between satisfying, recurring players versus acquiring new players. They try to do both. But yeah, I don't know what the priority there is. The other thing I've sort of seen is in amongst all of this fervor, there's people trying to take that spotlight and point it towards the 30th anniversary stuff coming up in December, which is, again, paid content. There's some stuff which I think is free, but there is also some stuff you only get if you go and pay for the 30th anniversary pack or whatever it's called, the DLC package. There is also an option where you get Witch Queen Deluxe plus the 30th anniversary stuff. It's all together. I think that stuff usually comes at a bit of a discount, but that I think is also a bit disingenuous because it's more content that in last year didn't exist. They're bringing in a new dungeon based on the loot cave. They're bringing back a bunch of weapons from D1, which requires a whole bunch of dev work to rebalance, get them back into like in line with the power curve at the moment. More content costs more money. That's how it goes. And yeah, they're going to supplement a lot of this with Eververse purchases and silver, like just general sort of the silver economy. That's going to get them, like a sort of baseline, but there's no way that's enough to cover development of everything that goes into this game.
Yeah.
No way.
Relying on cosmetics when you've also got a system where you can get cosmetics free. The Bright Dust system.
Yeah.
It's not a reliable way to fund.
No, and if it were the only like source of income for them, I don't think many of us would enjoy the game with the way that system would work. Like, there would be no Bright Dust store. There would be no Bright Dust. It would all be silver as a starting point.
For the most part, except for expansions and stuff, obviously, but they can't exactly, if they don't have a yearly subscription system, they can't exactly be dropping massive expansions for free. Yeah. But even then, 14 and World of Warcraft have a yearly subscription system, but then you also have to buy expansions.
Yeah, right.
Whereas Destiny doesn't have that yearly, well, depending on what platform you're on. But like, for example, on PC, you don't have that yearly cost to play the game.
Yeah. Like, I want to be careful how much like we go into the, dollars versus hours played side of things, because that I've seen a bit of that and it is a bit dismissive of some of the concerns. Just it's not the same for everyone in terms of hours played. But if you look at, an expansion costs for us, what, 100 Australian?
About that. I think DSC the base copy was like 88 Australian dollars or something.
Say it's 100, break that down as a per month cost. You think about it that way, it's close to what something like WoW charges per month, right? So like on the pure economics of it, it's the same as any other live service game. I think, some of this messaging has not been ideal, but give them feedback on that. Don't give them like claim that they're
thought out, constructive feedback.
Yeah, don't go on Twitter and yell that Bungie is deceiving you, because they're not. They've just, maybe made an error in how they talk about things. Surprise, there's humans behind this shit. Humans make mistakes.
Like, they're in the middle of an event, in-game event. They're ramping up to a massive expansion that they've just announced. Maybe they dropped the ball a little bit out of fear that this kind of information would have sullied the Witch Queen announcement.
Yeah.
And they're in the middle of Festival of the Lost. So it's like there's so many variables here as to why they could have dropped the ball. It's not making excuses, but like if you take a step back and you look at what's happening in the scope of at least Bungie's development cycle.
Yeah.
This is just bad timing, bad communication.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if tomorrow or next week in the TWAB we see them call this out and talk about it. Just to be like, okay, we kind of dropped the ball, or just trying to clarify things properly. Because honestly, clarifying this stuff in a Reddit thread as kind of the only place that's really happened, that's not good enough. You know, like I check those subreddits occasionally just to like, I don't know, see if I've missed anything in terms of weekly stuff that comes out, or if there's any build or raid stuff that is interesting. Like I'll check it every now and then, but I'm not a Reddit user really by any stretch.
I'm even less of a Reddit user. The only time I really check stuff out on Reddit is, especially that subreddit, is when it's linked in the server.
Yeah.
And I think it might be interesting, or it's important / relevant to my experience in Destiny.
Yeah, but with how fucking rampant they can be for spoilers, I actively avoid them for the most part. I avoid it,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I get some of the frustration for sure.
I do too. It's like, yeah, I totally get like the things we've mentioned. But yeah, like I said before, the hyperbolic rhetoric and the vitriol surrounding it, it's just, you know, why weren't some of these people investing that energy in the Blizzard information? But you know,
who knows?
Where was your anger then?
Oh, yeah.
Geez.
Yeah. That's a different road to walk down. I think that's kind of all of that. I don't know there's much more to say on that.
In saying that, 99.9% of the community we encounter are just like us. They're like,
yeah, they shut the fuck up on Twitter about it.
Super chill.
Yeah.
You know, they might be like, well, that sucks, but it's a video game. And I'm in a fortunate enough position to be able to afford said video game, but also I'm in a fortunate enough position that I can afford a console or a PC to play the game and have the time to play it. You know, it's a game. As much as we love it, and we've got a whole podcast about it, and we're probably both going to end up with Destiny tattoos at this point.
Oh, I'm certain that I will.
Yeah, it's like it's also a game. And there are people behind this game, people playing this game. Mistakes happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't want to pay for the dungeons, don't pay for them.
Yeah. You know, if it's such a
Wait
moral
for a sale, a Steam sale.
Yeah, if it's such a moral offense, don't pay for it. Or I don't know, like do and shut up.
Wait for a Steam sale.
Yeah. I don't know.
Wait for it to go up on Xbox Game Pass or something.
Yeah, that's actually like a pretty interesting angle, is how much of Destiny is just on Xbox Game Pass, which you can get on PC, I think, as well.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, it's bizarre. They're giving away a fair amount of the game. I say giving away, I mean, you're still paying for Xbox Game Pass.
The free-to-play section of Destiny, when you look at MMORPGs and MMOs, MMORPGs and MMOs,
yeah.
When you play the trial of a game before you subscribe or before you purchase, the trial is usually nothing.
Yeah.
When I first jumped back into Destiny 2 with you guys, I played the free-to-play content to see if it was still a game.
You played that like fucking 4 times, homie.
Yeah. Like, I was like, is this still a game I deeply care about? And then I was hooked. I was like, yep, sick. And then I just had to wait for payday.
Yeah.
Because it was in the middle of lockdown. I'd been stood down. I had to wait for my Centrelink to come in.
Yes.
Like a lot of people.
There's those real life stories.
So I played the base game a whole bunch. And you know what? When I bought the main game and started playing with you guys, I had a fuckload of pinnacles, a fuckload of loot, a fuckload of glimmer, a fuckload of bright dust, and you guys were like, "What the fuck, homie?" And I was like, I played the like trial like 9 times. I just kept grinding. I just kept going back in and playing it over and over again.
Yeah.
You know, it's the content that they give you in the base game, realistically, and it's still very apples to oranges, but like it is a lot more than what most MMOs give you when you play a trial. You know,
well,
they give you like one area and then they go, oopie.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Destiny's the only MMO I've ever tried to get into. And they weren't calling it an MMO when I started playing it. And then they eventually were like, no, I guess it is.
It is.
Yeah. All right, let's move on from that. Did want to mention quickly this week for trials, they're giving freelance a go. So it's all solos. I'm pretty sure like they're referring to this as like their trials lab stuff. So I'm pretty sure that's the only trials mode that will exist this weekend. I'm very curious to see how it goes because it is going to just be how good are you really? You know, like when it's, I would find actually when I was playing last time around, I actually didn't play it all last week. But if I'm in a team with a 2-stack, probably going to have a pretty good time. But I wonder how it's going to go when everybody is solo.
There's going to be a lot of people who puff their chests out online about how good they are at trials who are about to learn their homies have been carrying them the whole time.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I wonder what map it'll be too. Like, is it one that's going to lend well to breaking off and flanking or sticking together? Because that's the thing I find, like most of my trials this season has been solo play. And my go-to move is don't go too far away from your teammates. And then it's fine. You just get team kills. It's fine. I don't have to worry about it. But I wonder what happens if you get dropped into an all-solo environment. How many people play like that? How many people try to run off and be the hero? It's going to be very interesting.
It'd be a good time. It'll be good, but also simultaneously the most frustrating thing you've ever done, maybe.
God, yeah. People going to get revives in the middle of an open firefight, not in cover. Fucking punch me in the face. Hate that shit.
Melee me in the face.
Yeah, actually. I will take it.
Yeah, it should be good.
Yeah, I didn't play it all last weekend. I don't know, I think I just got busy. I got busy. I was doing other stuff last weekend. This weekend might also be very different because Melbourne's coming out of lockdown as of tomorrow. I don't have that much.
Everyone.
I don't have that much planned this weekend, but I might just end up doing stuff. I don't know. I'm still pretty cautious about it, but
go touch grass.
I can just go out into the yard and touch it there. I don't have to leave my house, really. But no, I'll make some time to play some trials before reset. See how it goes. I'm still very curious to see also how the flawless pool introduction actually kind of works out in the long run. I did see some people on Twitter kind of posting up images of people's like trials report cards, and it shows they've got like 20, 30 flawless in the history, but they had just gone up against them not in the flawless pool, so like in the main pool, because it seemed like what they were doing was getting to 6 wins and then resetting their card, which is also kind of dumb because like you only end up in the flawless pool if you go to the lighthouse. So you could get to 7 wins and then just keep going. But anyway, it seemed like there was some weird behavior developing of people getting to 6 wins, resetting just to stay in the pool where they think the easy wins are. And homie, if you're doing that, maybe you're not as good as you think you are.
That's it, right? Like if you've got to play in the pool of less experienced or less, I guess, in sometimes lucky players.
Yeah.
If you got to pull some shit to do that, what's the challenge? Even if you are good, what's the challenge?
Yeah. I haven't seen anything from Bungie on that. Yeah, I haven't seen anything from Bungie on that kind of behavior. I wonder if that's something they could detect and discourage in some way, because it seems shitty.
Yeah.
It seems pretty shitty to be doing that. But yeah, it seems like a lot of the matchmaking logic is based on like how you've gone that week, not so much how have you done in the past. Because if I pulled someone up and they're like, yeah, I've gone flawless 40 times, it's like, what the fuck are you doing here? It's Monday morning. You should be in the other pool with the people that sweat a lot. Why are you in here stomping my face into the ground?
Yeah, Sunday night I had a few matches like that, and I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah, like I don't
but
usually,
at the same
I don't
time,
go to the
like,
length of like looking them up to see what their history is like. You know, I'll peep the roster screen to see if they're in a fire team or if their power levels are wicked ahead of mine. That's about it. I'm not that concerned.
Sometimes I'll peep their build just if I'm interested. Like, oh damn, homie, what are you running?
Yeah, but then
like,
you get that in the intro screen anyway.
But sometimes people change it after the intro screen too.
That's also shit. I would love to see equipment lock trials. So you go in with what you choose. You better hope you got the right stuff on.
Yeah. I mean, to that extent as well, I've seen a lot of people go and pull up fire teams details and then be like, oh, they've got 45 flawless and they're in my pool and then they cost me my flawless. So obviously they're up to something. And it's like, oh, but you can see right there on the page that this is their third game today.
This is what they do also. Like
that's also,
that's how it goes.
It's like, it's not a matter of, I think a lot of people misinterpret it and being like, if you see X, Y, and Z, then they're definitely doing this thing. But it's like a few of them that I've seen people be like, this team shouldn't be in my pool and they just cost me my flawless. And it's like, yeah, they've played 3 games this week total, homie. They're not resetting. They've literally just jumped online. And you've just happened to come up against them.
Yeah. No, those kind of sentiments I saw mostly from people who are like, they don't usually play trials. They're like giving it a go, and that's a shitty experience of like, well, you've not shown them really what trials is supposed to be like. You've just shown them getting stomped, which is not fun, and seems like something that they're working to minimize. I think, you know, those 0-5 stomps are no fun.
Yeah, but I think after years of playing CS and COD and Siege and Battlefield, like I love FPS games. Like that's my wheelhouse is FPS games. Getting your shit pushed back in is part of the experience too. Like it's part of the learning curve.
I think there's like a fine line there between having that experience and being able to learn something from it versus just feeling like you're getting bullied. And it is like on a knife's edge, because like that first week of trials, like I had a lot of matches that I lost, but I went into it with the mindset of like, I don't expect to win here. I'm just going to sort of dip my toes in, see how it goes. And it turned out to be a lot more fun than I thought, so I kept going. Not everybody is going to have even that amount of perseverance with it, right?
Yeah. I guess also too, we're just lucky that Bungie has a tighter grasp on smurfing than other games as well. It's a lot harder to smurf. Which is good. That stops a lot of the potential curb stomping, because imagine how many people would just roll a new account just to run flawless again. Or, you know, oh, I've screwed up my pool and now I'm constantly being ranked higher, so I'm going to go start a new account so that I can wipe the floor with people because now I'm being bullied. It's not fun. And that's what you used to see in Call of Duty and CSGO all the time, is people would run smurfs because they'd go from being the bully to the bullied, and they'd be like, well, this isn't fun. So then they smurf. The shit boy. Yeah, so they smurf so that they can go back to effortless wins and have a good time. But like, as we've discussed previously in other Trials episodes, neither of us are easy win people. Like, an easy win is nice, but we also don't feel good about easy wins. Like, where's the challenge? Where's the lesson?
Well, for me, like as someone who, you know, has kind of tried to get into Trials this season, it's more, am I learning anything from that? You know, like I found myself, as we talked about, picking up angles, picking up different kind of movement, different ways to play the game, which I actually find myself using in PvE even, of just like, oh shit, there's cover where, and I'm like seeing cover where I didn't before.
Yeah.
But yeah, like either side of a 0-5, you're probably not having a good time or learning anything.
Yeah. I mean, you get the occasional peak where you're like, I won't be doing that again.
Yeah, fuck. So, oh, I
won't be looking around that again.
I aid when I should have deed. Fuck. Oh, actually, no. I heard that. That's bad. Oh, but yeah. So we're going to see some solo trials this weekend. I'll be in there in some way.
Me too.
Running my. I'm not going to change my build. I like my build.
Have a couple of beers, run some trials.
Ooh. Yes, specifically. I think that's kind of it on the sheet. We should probably talk about what we're doing next weekend, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of your idea. You wanna pick up the ball and run with it here?
Well, it's fun for two reasons. Because one, Halloween. But two, that weekend is also my birthday. So, I thought it would be very fun if we had our first Error Code Blueberry dual stream. Like a collaboration, but just us. And then
As
also
is all of this.
But then also we are going to be bringing in these mysterious fire team members that we keep referring to as well, who will be joining us.
We'll have special guests.
And just doing a whole bunch of fun scuffed Destiny stuff, really. Just in the tradition of us, it will be Destiny and it will be cursed.
Yes.
So I think we're planning to do at least one stream with I guess streaming at the same time but together, at least one of those. And then depending on what our schedules look like, I know I might be running some solo streams that weekend as well.
Yes.
I think we're just going to be around in general, but at the moment, Friday the 29th in the evening, so evening for Australia, early morning for any American or UK viewers who might be listening in. We're sorry, but
as we added literally only last episode, there'll be links down below in the description box to both of our Twitch channels as well as our Twitters.
We'll be tweeting it out too.
So yeah, there'll be more accurate information closer to the day, but
we're still figuring out the finer details. But it's the TLDR of it is we're going to get spooky and we're going to do what we do best, which is play a bunch of games with our fire team members, probably Gambit, probably Lost Sectors, definitely Lost Sectors or Haunted Sectors. Maybe some Crucible depending on how we feel, but it's just going to be, I guess, unfiltered, cursed goblin little selves in real time. You can drop in and chat to us, because that's another reason we've been keen to stream too, is because we know we have listeners who are our friends, but also like we've picked up listeners from Twitter who we don't know. So it'd be fun to see, viewers, true. So I think it'd be a lot of fun to see people in the chat and get to know some of the people who have been, even if you've watched one or two episodes, or this is your first episode.
Welcome.
Hello. I think it'd be a lot of fun to see people in the chat and just get to know other cursed little goblins who like Destiny too.
Yeah. Basically, it's just come be shitheads with us. Yeah, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna vibe. We're not gonna be like.
We're not taking it seriously at all.
We're not like doing a raid. We're not doing anything super serious. It's just probably yelling at some people in Gambit for a good chunk of it. Because I think we might have 4 of us, and that's just perfect as 4 stacking Gambit.
It's a particularly cursed combination of our fire team as well too.
It should be pretty good, and it's Friday evening for us. So finish work, a couple of drinks, a couple of screaming at idiots on the internet. I did check my shipping notification earlier. My costume outfit for the stream is now in the country. I didn't realize this, but it was shipping from the UK when I bought it.
Boohoo, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was not that because it was a Australian website, I thought. Anyway, it's here soon. It should be here in time. Otherwise, I'll figure something out. But yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. But we'll figure it out. I have to go and see if there's any trick to doing the Twitch squad streaming stuff. Have you seen that?
Yes.
I wonder if that's hard to set up.
I actually started reading about that today because you'd mentioned the stream and we started setting up admin stuff for the stream, and you mentioned it, and I started Googling it, but I was at work, so I had to do the sneaky googs.
I don't know if it's like one of those things where you have to meet some eligibility criteria first, or if it's just like, go nuts.
Figure it out.
But that could be good, because that's always the hard part of like when we're streaming to individual channels but doing the same thing together. How do you make that work?
You have to set up multi-stream, and then
that's not really setting
multi-stream
anything up.
has to deal with the potential delays, or like,
But there will be streams next week. I mean, it's weird because like we'll record an episode before the stream, but it won't go out until after
the stream.
That's the curse of recording on a Thursday. Is it's like it's also after reset before twab. I always say it differently every time. So we're like in this weird kind of limbo either way. But we're not going to change it. Get fucked.
We're both adults with full-time jobs.
Yeah, it's too late to change it now. Anyway, I'm a slave to inertia, if nothing else. If this ball is rolling, I just want to let it roll.
Also, routine is good.
Routine is good. Yes. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
We've talked stream. We've talked everything else. Cool.
That's it.
Well, in that case, thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with us again. We will be back next week, as we said. There will be a stream before then. Keep an eye out on the links down below. I'm going to be doing this now. I'm one of these guys. The links are down there, not my dick. Further down.
Okay.
Yeah. So subscribe, all the good stuff. We will see you next week. Until then, I don't have a sign off. You got one? Until then, go and smash some pumpkins. How about that?
Leave me alone. Two very different energies.
Smash some pumpkins, leave me alone. Billy Corgan smiling politely.
Homus. That was a yes and moment, but you got it wrong, so I felt my brain vibrate trying to figure it out. I was like, ugh.